I think, Nico was the fall guy. He deserved to be fired, but I think you don't make a trade like that unless you get the owner's prayers. When you have a player like Luka in that caliber, first 5 years all NBA, has been top three, top five best player in the league since he's been there. Um, I don't think Nico Harrison would be able to make that trade without the owner saying, "Okay, make that trade." Seriously, when you're a player that caliber, I don't think no GM can make that trade without going to the owner. Straight up. Remember, look what happened with. Remember when the Patriots, when Bill Belichick was going to try to trade Tom Brady, and the owner had to step in, like ho 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 ho. Because remember they had Jimmy Garoppolo, and the owner was like, "Hold up, brother. I don't care how much power you think you have. We ain't doing that." So I think Nico Harrison was the fall guy. To me, the problem that he has was, bro, you supposed to stand your ground on that, bro. We can't make that trade. Let's try to have a talk with him. If it's not him being a shit, whatever that was, no, we cannot do that. And you stay your ground. And if they fire you for that, at least you know you'll be able to get another job because you wasn't the one that traded Luca. But I think he jammed himself up because now him being the fall guy, that which I think it could be wrong, but I think he's the fall guy. Uh, I think he'd never have a job ever in life. His career is over when it comes to that. But just terrible in this. The way it's looking now, like I said, I like the trade fully healthy. I was dead wrong. Klay Thompson, terrible. Kyrie's never going to get back to who he was, always injury prone. Anthony Davis. Flea, you can go, Flea, because I'm going to be honest, bro. Yo, AD, man. Flea, the floor is yours, bro. Because I don't want to say nothing to get us demonetized or get us banned up here, bro. Hold on. Is he, when it comes to, because we talk about Derrick Rose and Penny Hardaway and Brandon Roy and T Mac, and now I think Embiid is going to be in that conversation as years to come. Is Anthony Davis going to be in that conversation where it's like, if you could stay healthy, floor's yours, Felice, say no more.
That nigga's a top 70. They gave that nigga a top 75 spot. He not even going to
Crazy.
be able to. He not even going to be able to. People not even going to be able to put him in the class with that, and that's bullshit, my opinion. But whatever. I think there's a couple of different ways to look at this Dallas thing with Nico Harrison. I think people forget that a big reason why Nico Harrison got that job is because he was a heavy Nike executive and he was close to the players. He had a lot of relationships in the league with a lot of different players. He was a player's guy. So for me, I think the guy kind of outsmarted himself. I think it was a two-way thing. Yes, you gotta get the blessing of the ownership to make a deal like that. But I think Nico kind of outsmarted himself a little bit. Yeah, got the owner's blessing, and shit kind of blew up. Right? Now, to be honest, has he had all the requisite pieces to show the championship team that he thought that he envisioned? No, he hasn't had everybody. Kyrie Irving's not there. Anthony Davis is not healthy, right? They draft Cooper
Gafford,
Flagg.
Lively, all them guys always hurt.
Right. They draft Cooper Flagg, right? So if you have everything, a Klay Thompson, if you have everything at your disposal, I think this is a different conversation. But at the end of the day, I think he really, really outsmarted himself. He thought he was a little too, he wanted to be the smartest nigga in the room and wound up looking like a dummy. And now he's out of a job. And to be honest, I totally agree with OG. He might not get another job in the NBA after they look at the trade that he made. Luka Doncic looks amazing right now, y'all. He looks amazing. We call it what you want. He looks great right now. He has the Lakers as a top 4 seed, right?
With no LeBron James.
No LeBron James. They're playing great basketball. He looks in amazing shape. And Anthony Davis looks fat and out of shape and can't get healthy. He can't even hold his own weight up. He's hurting his Achilles. He's hurting all types of shit. He has a belly. Respect everybody with a belly. He has a belly. He's a pro. He's fat. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just don't like the way he looks, man.
But Fabian, when this is all said and done, is this the worst trade in NBA history? You didn't trade Luka 15-year in the season in the league. You traded him in his prime, and you traded him for someone that, like you said, Flea, this may be the worst trade in NBA history.
Luka needed time to prove this, and I think Nico Harrison is being scapegoated. Just I don't say by happenstance, but Flea made a great point when the season started, where he said, "Oh, you traded for that guy that showed up fat again and out of shape, injury prone." It's not like that. That was the real problem. We know what Anthony Davis was, and AllBall myself, I was wrong too, because it was a three-headed monster at the center over there with Dallas, and they could have competed with anybody in my book. And just like when they got Gafford, I'm like, they're going to the championship. I don't see how anyone out west can stop them. Luka Doncic, like, we got to stop acting like we didn't criticize Luka Doncic. If we were saying this, imagine what Nico Harrison, Jason Kidd, all these guys were really saying in the lot. They've just, at the end of the day, that's how we talk. We're going to keep it real. Yo, Luka, what is that? What is that? People made a big deal. Oh, it was a big deal because Michael Finley took the beer away from him on a championship run. Some people were like, nah, that happens. Why was he drinking beer? We can't forget that either. Like, that's the part to me that's foul. All right, fire him. Cool. But Luka deserves all the smoke. He deserved to get traded. All of that. I get he's the franchise player. He's the superstar. He wasn't acting like one. And he still be acting like a bitch on that court. Complaining to the refs and everything. It's a lot. He doesn't play defense. There's still a lot to him that's like, he needs a lot of help to win. Because he doesn't do, if I'm a teammate, I'm like, bro, I'll give you a score of 50, but shut up. You don't slide your feet. You don't do nothing, bro. I got to make up everything else, the hardest part of the game, which is defense. You don't do nothing. So it will take time to see, because now we say all this, and then what if Cooper Flagg turns out to be an MVP candidate?
That's where I'm at. If Cooper Flagg turns out to be the best American white boy since Larry Bird, then the Luka trade kind of looks like thank you for allowing us to be in a position to do that. And again, that's a big if, right? Kid looks good already, right? He looks like he's on his way to having a pretty damn good NBA career. But in terms of the best American white player since Bird, that's going to be hard to reach. But if he gets anywhere close, the Luka trade, in my opinion, is it's not forgotten about, but it's easy to digest.
Well, let me shut y'all down now and tell y'all, both y'all out y'all fucking minds. He's gonna come nowhere near close to Larry Bird. He's gonna come nowhere near close to Luka Doncic. Cooper Flagg will have to be his first 5 years All NBA first team, be one of the best players in the NBA, go to a conference finals and a finals. Cooper Flagg ain't doing it. He's not even the best rookie in the NBA. That's DJ Edgepoint. So for me, I just think y'all both made great points. I have nothing to say. Y'all killed that right there. But let's be for real. The Dallas Mavericks made a lot of mistakes with this Luka trade. It was just bad. And for me, I think it's going to go down as one of the worst trades in the NBA. For me, this has nothing to do with Cooper Flagg. Because he was the consistent, he was the best player to take at this time, right? So even if Cooper Flagg turns out to be what he's supposed to be, I just still think to trade a player of Luka's magnitude at the time that y'all traded him, when y'all just came from a finals. And Fabian, you're 100% correct. But like everybody said, I think, what y'all got back for him, and then y'all sent him to LA, the Lakers. It's a mess.
But that's the other thing. Like, everybody around the league is saying the same thing. Huh? How does that happen? The Lakers get another superstar, and we're doing it in the middle of the night. We've been talking secretly for months. Like, he's clearly the scapegoat. The owners are going back and forth trying to act like, damn, we feel the pressure now. Like, you feel that you didn't know? You paid $3 billion for this team, and you ain't know who the fuck Luka Doncic was? Come on, man. Like that to me is like, all right, Nico. And if we're being real, to me, that's not worse than losing Jalen Brunson. If you never lost Jalen Brunson, you would never have to have gone for Kyrie Irving. That's where all the marbles, the dominoes really fell. Y'all been arrogant. If you would have kept Jalen Brunson there, now you got a number 2. Now you would have re-signed Jalen Brunson for, I think it was a $50 million deal for like 5 years or something like that. That is worse.
Yeah. Brunson and his pop said, well, I know his pop said 3 times they wanted to re-sign, and Dallas put them every time. And I think the most, like you said, was $50 million.
So it's not just the Luka thing. I mean, it's a lot to it, but it's also the fact that I don't want to get away from, yo, come on, bro. Like, there's always a bunch of conspiracies. We see all the gambling shit hitting the news. There's no way that something's not. Nico ain't getting no money from LA. He ain't good in LA for the rest of his life. Yo, look at the Laker fans. Thank you for everything, Nico Harrison. Yeah, he's good for life out there. Big Bompton. Bompton Harrison, bro.
Yo. I mean, the best consolation at the end of the day for me, man, the best consolation prize, and the way it worked out is the number 1 pick. That's the best consolation prize. Look at the last few number 1 picks in the NBA and look at what they're doing right now. Anthony Edwards was a number 1 pick. Cade Cunningham was a number 1 pick. Banchero was a number 1 pick. All of the recent Wemby was a number 1 pick, right? The best consolation prize, if you lose Luka Doncic, is the number 1 pick. I could roll with it and see what happens, right? Again, I'm not saying he'll be Larry Bird, but if he is the best American white boy since Larry Bird, like they did something good, and Nico be able to sleep at night.
AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.